Don't expect the same suit to appear proper on every day. There's a part of you that's called the survival part, the base part, the sensing part, the man of the body, the man of the world, the man who, like a dog, is limited to hearing from low C to middle C. And that's all that a dog is supposed to hear. That's the man that Maurice Nicole was speaking of. That man is only capable of wanting to live, wanting to exist, wanting to survive. His wants, his capacities are very limited. Above that man, the Übermensch, as they say, has the capacity to think of the spirit, the beyond, the before, the invisible, that which makes no sense to the survival man. So, beneath that man that I see there are two men, and that's why we've always spoken of Jekyll and Hyde, and the man Friday and the leader. And always, 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 there's been the notation that within that man we see on the street, there are two. To the superior man that Maurice Nicole refers to, the issues of incarnation, reincarnation, whence he came from, was he alive, and in what sense was he alive before he came here? Those things are a waste of time to the man of the senses. If I can't see it, hear it, smell it, it doesn't exist. Why the hell bother with it? However, to the other man where Gurdjieff begins, the new man, that man is not satisfied with just survival. He's finally accepted that he can and will survive. And the other part is clamoring for its recognition. That's called the purpose of the soul. What did your soul come here to do? What's the purpose of this creature picking out a life, picking out parents, picking out a time? You did that. There are no accidents. And you will find very little, if any, peace until you find what your purpose of soul is. Of course, for that, many of us have to do the exploratory work of believing that there is a soul, and believing that we have one, and believing that the soul has wants and needs. But once that's done, then what are you going to do? Till then there will be no peace, because the soul itself is clamoring to be on its way, to do what it realizes it came here to do. To survive the shock of birth, to survive the shock of death. Will this soul again return to eternity without knowing what it was going to do? So, one day in the breaking of your heart, speak to that soul and tell it, I can no longer bear that you don't know why you are here. And exert as much effort as you can to find the purpose of your soul and deliver in your promise to the soul as your responsibility. What say you to that? Don't even have to think, just open your heart and let the contents spill out.
He was very poignant to me, the way you expressed this idea at the end, the breaking of the heart, that it will take a breaking of this heart, this man's heart. It's the point where you can no longer bear defaulting, if you will, on the responsibility. And it makes sense the way the chair presented that for this person, because the chair knows that if he presents it as though it is a responsibility, there's a chance that could get through to David. Whereas for another person, the chair might present it some in a different way. But the breaking of the heart is what I fear. I fear this breaking of the heart. I fear the death that the chair has talked about tonight. I fear what seems like a life that is completely foreign to me. And yet there's something that's always compelled me to come back to this room, to not give up. It's been 14 or so years, so something in me is not giving up. And that one day, what the chair has described might actually come to pass.
A long time ago it was said that one should never use the word I, which you used unsparingly in your communication. And I dare say that most of the I talking was your ego, which is afraid to die, which is afraid to lose its post of command in your existence, because that which is essential is not afraid of anything. The essence has no fear. It is not going to lose anything. It's going to be born. So one day you may think again and hear my words when I say to you, when you hear the words of your condition, you will realize that those are the words of liberation. And at that instant, you will make the jump from one existence to another, and no longer even feel the fear, but say, yes, those words that one hears, that one always thought would bring shock and awe and terror, now we see they bring freedom and hope and courage and a total lack of fear. Because the only fear is that you won't hear those words. But if you've done early good work, the words will come to you. You're a father, so you know what it is to give birth and to see the existence of what you gave birth to. Now, in another permutation, give birth to your soul. Because perhaps you've given birth to children to practice and to gain experience in giving birth to yourself. And if it turns out that you shudder and shake of your fears, then find me somewhere and I will hold your hand. And you will not feel fear. And that I say to everyone that ever hears my voice. Find me wherever I am, and I will hold your hand. You will not feel fear. You wanted to hear these things. You wanted to hear what I've said. You wished it. You wished it for me from the benevolence of your being. Because you know that not only are you hearing what I'm saying, but that I'm hearing what I'm saying.